We have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family.
It began with a chant outside the courthouse, then blew up live on TV. Jimmy Kimmel spotlighted a moment Trump's team likely hoped would slip by unnoticed. Then someone might have called the cops. Why? Because a late-night joke triggered a very real reaction. So, what exactly did Jimmy say that landed so hard? You're about to see it all: real footage, real quotes, real reactions, no edits, no exaggeration.
On the other side of humanity's coin, we have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. We have Donald Trump Jr. protesters chanting crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family. Protesters chanting crime family, the Gambozos, if you will, and what these people are, a crime family. He's so embarrassing. He's on the stand, he's testifying in this $250 million fraud trial, and he has to compliment. We have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning.
If that opening already has you raising an eyebrow, hit subscribe because we're just getting started. It's not every day someone calls their father an artist while testifying in a $250 million fraud trial. But that's exactly what Don Jr. did, and Jimmy didn't need to twist anything. Outside, the crowd was loud. Inside, Jimmy turned a legal defense into a cultural moment that echoed.
I'm not supposed to rely on a big five accounting firm, like one of the biggest accounting firms in the world. I can pay them millions of dollars. I rely on them to do accounting, but I'm supposed to know more than that. By this logic, insurance companies are going to start suing patients for listening to their doctors. Right? You understand? Like, am I supposed to know more? Oh, Don Jr. doesn't know anything about it. I'm not an accountant. I'm a business guy.
There he is. You hear the protesters chanting crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family.
Don Jr. tried the common sense, root trust the experts, blame the paperwork. But Jimmy flipped that on its head. If patients can't be blamed for trusting doctors, does that mean execs aren't responsible for signing off on millions? It was courtroom logic crashing into late-night punch.
I wonder what's going through his head right now. Crime family, and that is basically what these people are. Here's the thing about Don Jr. When he lacks in intelligence, he also lacks in charisma. So
when Jimmy delivered that line, it felt like the jury of late-night America nodded all at once. Don Jr. came to defend his dad. What he ended up defending was foundation. But if you think Don Jr. got roasted, wait until you see what happened next. Because after that, Trump took the stage. What started as a slip turned into a full...
The only thing that would make it worse is if somebody changed the lyrics to a song by his beloved Village People to drive it home. We have Donald Trump Jr., who's in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family. We have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family. They can play it at rallies. You can do TACO, right?
When Jimmy joked this could be the next YMCA, he wasn't kidding. Within hours, Taco Man wasn't just a remix, it became a movement, a parody anthem, a choreographed humiliation, and maybe the first time a presidential ego got roasted to a disco beat. The worst part? It's
yesterday, he blew up at a reporter because she asked him about a new nickname that's been making rounds on Wall Street. They're calling him Taco, which is an acronym for Trump always chickens out. This morning, and there he is. You're not going to believe it. You hear the protesters chanting crime family. He doesn't like the nickname at all. And that is basically what these people are. But it seems there's been an outpouring of taco-themed AI on social media featuring our Crunchwrap Supreme Leader and all manner of chicken balls in court again rooster this morning. And this master five-piece family meal. You hear the protesters chanting crime family.
The nickname Taco Trump stuck for a reason. He always chickens out. It started as Wall Street slang, but once Jimmy said it out loud, the internet took over. He called it nasty. Twitter called it dinner. Then AI gave it feathers.
We have Donald Trump
Full
Jr.
chicken,
who was in
armor,
court again
rooster hair,
this morning.
wrapped in lettuce sand just like that. A former headline.
You call that chickening out?
You hear
6
the
months ago,
protesters
this country
chanting
was
crime
stone
family,
cold
crime
dead.
family, and that is
We had a
basically
dead country.
what
We
these
had a
people
country
are.
people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation, but don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty
We have
question.
Donald Trump
So Trump
Jr.
did what he
was in
always
court
does.
again
The name
this
was silly.
morning.
The question was simple. But Trump turned it
there he
into a
is.
full-blown crisis with
You hear the
outrage,
protesters
drama,
chanting
and a warning.
crime family,
Because if there's one
crime
thing Trump
family,
never
and that is
chickens out of, it's
basically what
overreacting.
these
Every
people
clip you
are,
see
a
here
crime
aired
family.
publicly. No edits.
But according to the story, in 2018, Donald Trump, who was at that time president of the United States, was so upset about my jokes
was in court again
that I made
this
about
morning.
him. He directed his staffers at
there
the
he
White
is.
House to call
You hear the
Disney
protesters
to
chanting
tell them
crime
to rein
family,
me in.
crime
The
family,
report
and
says
that
at
is
least 2
basically
calls were made
what these
from
people
the
are,
Trump
a
White
crime
House
family.
to, quote, convey the president's anger regarding Kimmel's monologues and jabs. In other words, President Karen demanded to speak to my manager.
While Trump was busy live posting his foreign policy, another truth came out, one that hit a little closer to Hollywood. Turns out, when the jokes got too sharp, he didn't just rage on stage, he picked up the phone. And no, the call didn't go to Iran, it went to Disney.
Donald Trump, who was at that time president of the United States, was so upset about my jokes that I made about him, he directed his staff at the White House
who was in court
to call
again
Disney
this morning.
to tell them to rein me in.
There
the
he
report
is.
says at least 2 calls were
You hear
made
the protesters
from the
chanting
Trump
crime
White House. And I
family,
had like
crime
80
family,
texts
and
when
that
I
is
woke up
basically
sending me this
what
article
these
from
people
Rolling Stone.
are,
It
a
says
crime family.
Trump White House pressured Disney to censor Jimmy Kimmel. Now, Disney is the company that owns ABC, our network, and Jimmy Kimmel is me.
Here it is confirmed by Rolling Stone and echoed by Jimmy himself. When Trump couldn't take the heat, he didn't just sulk, he called the network. The man with the nuclear codes used his power to try and cancel a late-night monologue. Twice, and instead of killing the joke, he made it front-page news.
Wow, what a plot twist. The first time Donald Trump ever tries to stop someone from talking about him on television, and it's me. Usually when he wants somebody to stop talking about him, he pays them $130,000.
There he is.
He wanted me to do it for nothing. I wonder what it was. I also want to point out the Oscars were more than 6 months ago. He's still stewing over this joke. He keeps bringing it up, which I don't mind at all. In fact, I love it. I just wish he would quote it correctly. I didn't say,
We have Donald Trump
he
Jr.
thinks he
who was in
bothers
court
me.
again.
He tried to
this
shut
morning.
Jimmy down, but what he got instead was a bigger mic
there he
and a
is.
permanent memory. The kind
You
that
hear the
doesn't forget who
protesters
pays hush money
chanting
and who
crime
can't take a
family,
joke.
crime family,
6
and
months
that is
later,
basically
Trump's still
what
fuming.
these people
Jimmy's
are,
still
a
laughing.
crime
And now,
family.
the whole country's tuned in.
Jimmy Kimmel is every night. He hits me, I guess. His ratings are terrible. He's not a talented guy.
We have Donald Trump Jr. who was in court again this morning.
See if you can guess which former president just
chanting crime family, and that is basically what these people are.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
We have Donald Trump Jr. who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting crime family.
I guess I should be honored that the former
is
president of the United States took time out of his busy schedule Googling Ivanka in bikini to rant about me. But
Trump tried to clap back but ended up proving Jimmy's point. While Trump raged, Jimmy leaned in, smiled, and let the audience do the rest. No yelling, no insults. Just one joke-hand silence. Never felt so loud. Trump's meltdown didn't end there. As the cameras kept rolling, the ripple effects crashed into courtrooms, trade deals, and global headlines.
See, we have a new round of randomly levied tariffs. This morning, the White House doubled tariffs on aluminum and steel.
And we have Donald Trump Jr. who was in court again this morning.
The president has now slapped a 50% tariff
You hear the protesters
on
chanting crime family, and that is basically what these people are.
Construction,
crime
for cars,
family.
even appliances. He's taking us to the cleaners. Literally. Soon we will not be able to afford a washer or dryer. There's no plan. Unless you consult the MAGA version, in which case there is and was definitely a plan.
There he
I think
is.
he's had a plan all along.
You hear the protesters chanting crime family, and that is basically
This was the
what
plan
these
all
people
along.
are.
Was that his
crime
plan all
family.
along? It certainly looks like it.
This is the plan that he was pursuing all along.
I mean, you're watching the art of the deal in real time here.
We have Donald Trump Jr.
That was
who's
the
in
plan.
court again.
Congratulations, because in 1 week the plan lost $6 trillion, and every country in the world hates us now.
While Trump preached America first, global car makers were doing the opposite. According to AP News, Toyota, Nissan, and Volkswagen aren't bringing factories back. They're expanding in China. EVs for China, from China. Even Nissan's China chief said it. They're building cars for every country except one. Trump's tariffs didn't block exports. They just rerouted the profits. Analyst Jolie Jung summed it up. This is survival of the fittest. And under Trump's trade war, the U.S. got left behind.
Donald Trump said I'm not talented so many times. Erica's starting to get jealous, but what he doesn't realize is that I love this. I love that this bothered him so much. I love that Fox this morning, news guy nobody knows to interview him. And I especially love when he tries to spin the fact that everyone was laughing at him into a positive.
The fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person. This is a stupid person. And that's a bad combination. And I think what we're forgetting, I keep forgetting it.
And maybe that's the real punchline. Trump wasn't just rattled by the jokes, he kept watching, kept stewing, kept proving Jimmy's point. Jimmy didn't just poke fun, he moved in. But behind the laughs, the tension is real. As Jimmy said, this isn't just about ratings or roast battles. It's about a man with power, no filter, and no brakes. And in a country still recovering from the damage, that's not just ridiculous, it's dangerous. From an ego-soaked birthday parade to a White House call trying to muzzle comedy. This wasn't just another Trump tantrum. It was a collision between satire and state power where every punchline hit a nerve, and every reaction proved the point. Because in the end, this wasn't just about a man who can't take a joke. It was about what happens when power treats scrutiny like betrayal and comedy like a threat. Whether it's Jimmy Kimmel, Toyota, or the Supreme Court, we saw a pattern. Resistance met with retaliation, and that's the real warning. You don't have to love late night. You don't have to agree with every verdict or trade deal. But in any healthy democracy, scrutiny isn't sabotage, it's survival.